In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Mandalorian Super Commando Captain from the Clone Wars. Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Mandalorian Super Commando Captain from the Clone Wars. Now, many of you may have already seen my review on the channel of the Mandalorian Super Commando, which is the trooper essentially, and now we have the captain, which is pretty awesome. So the Mandalorian Super Commando was in the previous wave. This one's in the next wave with Figure Dan and the Death Watch Mandalorian Airborne Trooper, which are also on the channel. I do still need to review the 332nd Ahsoka Clone Trooper from that wave, but if you want to watch those other videos, they are on the channel. So let's take a look at the card back for this one. Now, this one does look like an artist's impression for me. I don't think that's taken from the animated show, but it might be. I don't know. But to me, it looks like an artist's impression. And in fact, around here, it looks a little on the dodgy side, I've got to be honest. But it still looks a nice card back. You've got the character right there, front and centre. Mandalorian Super Commando Captain in the name pill with that sort of deep red colour for the name pill and behind the figure. We got the Clone Wars in red at the top there, single racetrack design with the Kenner logo. And then on the back, he is VC246 in the line, and there you can see the other figures in the wave. As I mentioned, I have reviewed Figure Dan, Din Djarin from Morak, and the Death Watch Mandalorian. Still need to do the 332nd. We're reviewing the Super Commando Captain in this video, and I don't think I will be reviewing ARC Trooper Jesse because I already did that in the 3-pack. And you got to see the card back on the overview of this wave a few videos back. So there we go. That's the card back for you. And we're going to crack him open and check out the figure. All right then. So here is the figure out of the packaging. And I've got to say, he looks pretty cool. I do like him. I know some people don't really like the horns on top of the helmet. They think it's a bit weird and a bit stupid. But at the end of the day, that is exactly what it is like in the show. Some people call this character the Mandalorian. And before we take a closer look at this figure, I'm going to be bringing in the Mandalorian Super Commando, the trooper version, so we can compare them and see the differences. Because essentially, they do use the same sculpt, albeit apart from a few small differences. But the paintwork is actually completely different. So we're going to do that right now. Let's bring him in. All right, so first things first is that they do come with exactly the same accessories. They come with the 2 smaller blasters which fit in their holsters, and they come with the 1 bigger blaster. They also come with a removable jetpack, which is exactly the same, albeit the paint scheme once again is completely different. Now, the main difference between these figures really is the colour of the main body of the figure. You can see that this guy's jumpsuit is more of a lighter brown, whereas this one is like a dark grey. Also, they've painted the shin guards the deep red colour on the captain, whereas on this one they've left them silver with a little bit of battle damage. And then we've got the red bit there on his codpiece where this guy hasn't got it. And then you can see the armour at the top is completely different. This one has the red at the top and on the shoulders and around the neckline, and this guy has more of an actual real pattern going on his chest, and he also has the little spikes on his shoulder pauldrons there as well. And of course the helmet's completely different as well because this one has the horns on it on top of there. So there you go, that's pretty much the main differences. The actual sculpt of the body is exactly the same, so unlike the Death Watch Mandalorian that did have different gauntlets, for example, these guys' gauntlets are exactly the same. I actually prefer the gauntlets on this guy because they are painted like a dark silver, almost like a Beskar. I much prefer those. These just do not look like they've been painted at all. They are the same colour as the holsters and his feet and his knee pads. There's no real paintwork or effort on there. Maybe that's just how he is, I don't know. But I just prefer the paint scheme and attention to detail on this guy. He does have the silver paintwork on that gauntlet, but that's about it. On this gauntlet, you can see it's just all one grey colour, so there's not really anything to it. Turning the figures around so we can just have a look at the jetpacks and the back of the figures. You can see that the captain has the better of the 2 jetpacks in my opinion. This one has more of like almost like a Beskar wash to it. It has a bit more of a bronze effect to it though, whereas this one is just silver essentially. And this one has a bit more red on it as well, but they use the same sculpt. They're pretty much identical. So that's the differences between the two figures. Obviously, this is the captain. He's in charge of these guys. So you're going to want like an army of these ones and maybe just one of these. And yeah, so now we'll just take a closer look at this guy. And there you go. There's a super close-up of that helmet with those horns on there. And the paint scheme of the helmet. You can see that he definitely has like a Darth Maul sort of pattern on the head there, if we look at the top, and on the chest, and also on those shoulders as well. And you can see a couple of horns or spikes on those shoulders. So it's a weird concept, but I like it. I love the Clone Wars, so I'm going to love these. And yeah, loads of Mandalorians and an army, I'm all for that. So there's another closer look at him. And we'll go right down. And there's what I was saying about the gauntlet just being that grey. Same as the belt, same as the holsters. You know, I would have preferred that maybe if it was the same colour as the jetpack. But maybe that isn't his colour scheme. It's been a while since I've seen the show. So now I'm not going to go through the articulation within this video, because if you want to see the articulation of this figure, then you need to go back to the Mandalorian Super Commando video, because essentially that's the first one I reviewed, and it's the same sculpt, so it's got exactly the same articulation as this one and the Death Watch Mandalorian Airborne Trooper. But he's just awesome. He looks cool, and as I say, an army of Mandalorians is great. I'm loving it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my Patreon supporters and channel members. Your support for the channel means a great deal to me and helps me make more and better videos. Thank you all for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and we shall see you on the next one.